56 points, 38 averaged. The series could have not gone any farther than what most people expected of this Miami Bucks series, but in my opinion, this is like a refresher to the league that the hungrier you are, the more you're gonna win. I believe this series was like as soon as Miami stole 2 games, it was pretty clear that they were on a mission and that they just wanted it more. But I believe that also that Giannis coming back would make a difference, but it really didn't. They actually didn't win while in the games that Giannis played, except in the one where I think he got injured, if I'm not mistaken. No, and actually the one that they didn't play, that he didn't play, Giannis, was the one that they won. In my opinion, the Bucks, how Giannis said, he had a good quote, which was along the lines of, we were focusing as a team on the finals and on winning a championship, but they were focused on beating us. And as much as I do believe that that's kind of, biased, I also believe that that's true. You could see that with the Heat, they actually shot really efficiently, like for a team which had so many deficiencies in terms of like efficiency, if that makes any sense. Like Jimmy, 60% from the field, 44% from three, right? Bam, shot under like 46%, but he was like guarding Giannis for most of the series, and he was getting guarded by their big men. So him putting up those numbers is actually surprising when you put it in that context. I'm a Heat fan, so I could say that Kevin Love was a difference maker, and also signing Cody Zeller. Yeah, I know that we barely played him, but he got that clutch bucket in the end of the fourth for us in the last game, which really sealed the game away, which then was followed by the Max Strus free throws and the Grayson Allen miss floater. I do believe that this series was more of like a statement piece of don't sleep. We're seeing a lot of teams in these playoffs just like sag and go to sleep of what their true potential could be because they think that it's going to be easy. And I think that Miami beating Milwaukee in 5 games was just like a reminder to the league of, take your matchup seriously. It doesn't matter who it is. We saw it with the Grizzlies where they were really supposed to beat the Lakers like quickly. No one actually, like most people were like, don't doubt LeBron, but really, let's face it, even though the Lakers are good, no one thought that they would actually translate to the playoffs. But since the Grizzlies took it so lightly, they talked too much, and they just didn't get what they needed to do done, right, in terms of defensively and especially offensively with their terrible offensive possessions. That shaped the entire series to the point where now they're up 3-2. And also Boston swept a team with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving last year. But this year they're getting taken to at least 6 by Trae Young and a team which was 500, I'm pretty sure, for the season, and which is known for winning a game and then losing a game and then winning a game and then losing a game in the Atlanta Hawks. That's no disrespect to the Hawks, but I do believe that this season shows you, like, take the playoffs seriously. You're not just going to beat a team. If they want to win, you're not just going to beat them. You need to try, especially if they have one guy. Like, the things with the regular season is in the regular season, one guy can't get you into the playoffs. We saw it with Tyrese and the Pacers. We saw it with Shea and the Thunder, where it's like one good guy can't really get you there, apart from if he's a top 10 player, right? Like Jokic did last season, like LeBron did all those years, right? Like Giannis does when he gets his teams to 1 seeds, right? But what we do see is that one guy can win you playoff games because of the nature of how role players underperform and of the tension in the playoffs. One good playoff performer could steal a game in the playoffs because of how superstar centric it is, and I believe that also is affecting the league, as a lot of people do not see these results. Like Miami won. I want you to understand this was the same team that people thought were going to go out like they did in 2021, where they got swept by the Bucks in the first round. But I mean, obviously, we have to give credit to Jimmy Butler. He averaged 37 points, basically 38, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists with 2 steals. Meanwhile, also making game winners, game tiers, and doing that consistently. Like, it wasn't just that he was making those just, every once in a while. No, like, he wasn't letting up. Like, it was the last 2 minutes of a fourth quarter, and it was money or it was a foul. To another series that I want to talk about the Knicks and Cavaliers, which, even though, yes, the series was it was a very anticlimactic, right, considering what it should have been. I do want to say that, why did the Cavaliers run their offense through Darius Garland? Like, I'm just going to go through a few things that bothered me of the Cavaliers, which I want to assess, right? First, why did they change their whole roles in the playoffs? Like, why didn't Donovan Mitchell stay as the man in the playoffs? Like, Darius Garland only took 20 less shots than him. But in the regular season, Darius Garland was a passer. Second, why did they run short rotations? Like, look, I know they have no bench, but like, even just running Ricky Rubio more than 17 minutes in a 5-game series, like, in my opinion, you need to be able to trust your guys. Like, yes, Isaac Okoro is unplayable offensively, and yes, some of the guys on your bench, you can't count on them. But especially when a guy like Jared Allen, who's getting 191 minutes, which is the second most on the team, and he's consistently underperforming, then maybe it's good to give him some bench time and to like let him retool mentally on the bench and then bring him back in. I do believe that this series was fun, but I do believe that this shows that there are very little playoff performers in this series. Like, Donovan Mitchell was one of them, but his role changed in this series. He wasn't as much of that scorer, as he was more of like a go-to bucket guy for them. Also, everyone shot inefficiently, like, apart from maybe Jared Allen, but come on, let's face it, he had a bad series. He only scored 47 points. But, like, Donovan Mitchell, 43% from the field, 29% from 3. Darius Garland, 44% from the field, 39% from 3. And these guys, from the regular season averages, they went down a ton. Also, I do want to say that on the Knicks, they have difference makers and their bench is deep. I want to say Emmanuel Quickley played great. He got a lot of minutes and he did a lot with them. Mitchell Robinson was spectacular in terms of just making the other team's big men pay. And I think the biggest difference maker out of the guys who are not obviously the top 3 of RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson is Josh Hart. Like, he said a quote which was like, you get rebounds. He said it to Mitchell Robinson. He was like, you get rebounds, right? And I get rebounds that break teams. And I want to say that he finished his final game with like 12 rebounds. He shot 56% from the field and 45% from 3. He scored a total of 58 points when he's not even that much of a scorer. And I do want to say that New York put on a clinic. Like, yes, of course, it's against a team which is very young and has no experience, and they've never been there before, and they've choked already multiple times. Even in the play-in last year, they choked. But I do want to say that the Knicks look good. I don't think they're going to win against Miami. And if they actually don't win, that will be 2 back-to-back conference finals for Miami, which will be crazy considering that they're an 8th seed who came out of the play-in. And I do want to say that I think that the playoffs are shaping up to be awesome. I like the upsets. I like how we're gonna have these superstar matches in the second round between Denver and Phoenix, and also between Boston, Atlanta, and maybe Lakers Warriors. I think those are the series which are panning out to be. But yeah, uh, I just want to pose a question now, which is something that like really came into my mind is where do you go if you're Giannis Antetokounmpo? Like I understand that this may be an overreaction, but if you are Giannis Antetokounmpo and you are looking at your team and that you guys can't win and that you guys have streaky shooters like Pat Connaughton and Grayson Allen, right? Who Grayson Allen, all he needed to do was put a shot up to win. If you are Giannis Antetokounmpo, are you thinking about leaving the Bucks? Is this an option for you? Are you saying maybe this team is not built to win and we really did win based off of injuries in 2021? Like Drew Holiday, he's good, but sometimes some nights he'll be Michael Jordan, some other nights he'll be Karis LeVert on a bad day. And Chris Middleton can't, like, yes, he stayed healthy and he's a great co-star, but he won't win you games when Giannis leaves, especially the fact that he's getting older and not younger. I do believe that there's a question here of should Giannis leave, like, and do it before it's too late to the point where he doesn't become like Dame or like one of these superstars like Dirk, right? Where they won a championship with their team, but in the end, even they wasted the final years of their prime. I do believe that he should consider what state of his career he's in and what the future is going to be. But I do believe that right now you just need to see how the playoffs shape up, see where the Heat go, and see how real the contenders were. But yeah, I do believe that these playoffs are going to be amazing, and they're shaping up to be.